the injury status. You guys heard yesterday, I'm sure, that Terry McLaurin not practicing. I don't think that bodes
I told you my tingle was that he would not play on Monday night.
Yeah, you were right. Well,
I mean, there's still a ways to go.
He could practice today or tomorrow. Maybe things would change. But
it's an extra day.
You would think if he could practice today, he probably could have practiced yesterday.
You would think.
Right? So it's probably
but
not
today is
good.
really the Wednesday if it was
I'm going to guess
week.
that Terry, if he's at practice, he'll be doing the sideline drills bit.
Yeah, I'm sure he's doing all that. Noah Brown did practice, though.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, DQ did say, last week that he was optimistic about McLaurin, but didn't practice yesterday, so I don't know that bodes particularly well. We'll see. McLaurin has already missed week 4 and week 5. If he misses Monday, that would be 3 games in a row without our number one target. But as we've been saying all week, Debo clearly filling the void with his production there. If you add Noah Brown, now listen, you have no idea how long Noah will be available. They're saying his absence is actually the growing. It's not the knee injury that he suffered in the spring. That's not the issue. It's the growing that he's dealing with, but he was able to practice. So
it's got a long history of injuries.
Brandon Coleman, by the way, I still don't think has been active for like 3 straight games.
Chris Paul's been playing well.
Chris Paul's been playing well. And supposedly Quinn said something to the effect of, it's not that they're down on Coleman. It's just that Paul's been playing better.
I saw an interview with Cosme yesterday. Scott Abraham, who we have on Fridays at 9:00, was interviewing him. And Cosme, I would bet he is going to play. Now, he wouldn't commit to it, but he's practicing.
He's got a 21-day window. So he's either going to probably play this week or next week. Here, we do have some audio, I think, from DQ and from Jaden. Everybody, obviously, when you play the Bears following the Hail Mary at the end of the game, everybody wants to ask about the Hail Mary. And the Skins guys, DQ and Jaden, they're all kind of like over it. They're all basically saying it was big last year, but how's that going to affect us this week?
What's going through your mind as you see the ball in the air? Just like, and the likelihood of this working is very small. Like what's going through?
Yes, I would say. And one, I don't mind the question. It was one of the most fun chapters of last year. It is last year's story. It's not this year's. But probably like most of us, there's like the longer a scramble goes on a Hail Mary, at least the ball is going to get off. So you're not looking down the field too early, but to make somebody miss, you're waiting, and then probably like most of us, a collective gasp. And so I don't know if there was a lot of activity in that little space in between from like, he's going to get it off to the catch. I think like everybody just like, and, you're waiting and not knowing. And, so like, that's probably the space that I was at. But it's a play that's also, and I think Aaron Rodgers probably been one of the best that I've seen going against it, of buying time, when to go, how high you have to throw it to create trajectory to go down, because you have to have time for the players to get down the field so far. So it's something that the guys work on. But it was rare and fun and all those things.
But it was last year's thing. It's not this year's thing. I think you also have audio of Jaden when they asked Jaden about it.
Like you said, you don't want to look back at last year, the Hail Mary, all that. You don't seem to want to do that with a lot of things. Why is that? Like, what don't you want to look back at? Like,
I mean, that Hail Mary ain't gonna help us win a game on Monday. So what's the point?
And I kind of agree with them.
They've turned the page on it. Like they want to focus on this year's edition of the Bears with Ben Johnson as the head coach. And Ben Johnson said as much when he was asked about it. He's like, we're a different team. It's a different team coming in. Right. It's not the same team that lost to the Hail Mary and then went into just, falling off a cliff, basically ruined their season by losing that Hail Mary game.
All right, so we touched on it all week. I don't think the numbers changed much. It still looks like the Commanders are favored by 4.5. If you want to bet the money line, if you want to bet on the Skids, you got to put up, 225 to win 100. If you bet on the Bears, you bet 100, you win 185. The over-under, the total number is still right around 50. Do you have any leans, cakes, one way or the other on any of those?
I do love overs 49.5 though sounds like a lot. It sounds like a lot of points, especially if the Commanders really want to establish the run against this Bears team, which every team has been able to do. I just don't know if they're going to get to that 50-point plateau. I'm kind of smelling an under here. Though I'd like to tease it. I'd bump the total up and go under. And then who would I take? Yeah, I would take the Commanders basically just to win.
Just some interesting
getting a point or two.
Nuggets that the Commanders have put out. Washington has a 14-12-1 lifetime record against Chicago. At home, they're 24-22-1 overall. Washington, though, is 31-45 all time in Monday Night Football games.
Ooh.
Not great,
but they've been better lately.
And how about this one? Head coach Dan Quinn, DQ, is 6-1 as a head coach in Monday Night Football games.
Kind of like that.
That's a nice one, right?
That's a good nugget.
Let me see. It's the third time in the last 4 seasons that they'll face off in prime time, and it's the 4th straight season that Washington and Chicago will play each other. I saw a stat kind of alluding to what you were talking about, Cakes.
Mm-hmm.
I think the assumption is that they're just going to pound the football, and I think they are going to do that. But I'm trying to find the stat that they're giving up something like 7.5 yards per pass attempt, maybe even more.
The Bears are? Or the Commanders are? Okay.
The Bears are.
Right.
So there might be an opportunity there for Jaden to throw up some passing numbers that might surprise you.
Hopefully both things happen.
Right.
But I'd be shocked if we don't see a 30 to 35 carry type of output for the running backs and Jaden. Like I would expect Bill to get, 15, 18 carries. Jaden would carry the ball 6 or 8 times, maybe a few more. Sprinkling Rodriguez and McNichols. Boom, you got 30 plus carries. And hopefully it's at about 6 or 6.5 yards per pop.
Did we resolve DVOA? Remember we were going through all those stats and then we were getting...
Don't know. I don't know if anything's been resolved.
Remember we were going back and forth on that? We were trying to... Remember
I think it was a different stat
it wasn't
we were
the
arguing
DVOA
about.
that we were Chicago ranks 23rd in defensive DVOA and 25th in Pro Football Focus defense grade. So there is an opportunity.
They're not a great
there.
defense.
Yeah.
Despite overpaying Montez Sweat, they're not a very good defense.
Offensively, though, they're 10th in the league. They're averaging 25.3 points per game.
Yeah. They can score. I mean, Caleb Williams, if he stays upright and sticks to the script and doesn't have too many off script plays, he's effective.
Right.
If he starts running around and trying to improvise all the time, that's where he tends to get in trouble.
And they've had 2 weeks to prepare for this game because they're coming off the bye.
Yep.
Of course, the key guys you're going to have to watch out for. Odunze with the 5 receiving touchdowns. He's also got almost 300 yards receiving. DeAndre Swift, he's their leading rusher. He hasn't been lighting the world on fire. I think he's averaging something like 3.3 yards per carry, not a ton. And then, of course, Caleb, having a pretty good sophomore season. He's thrown for 927 yards and 8 touchdowns.
Yep.
So.
Hopefully Jaden improves to 2-0 lifetime against his draft mate, Caleb Williams. When we come back, we'll be joined by Brian Baldinger, Odyssey NFL Insider. And don't forget, Dave Richard, fantasy football expert, joins us at 8 a.m.